Today is Friday, January 20th. I'm Liang Huang reporting from the newsroom of China Daily's New York office. This week on Across America. To celebrate the Chinese New Year, Chinese Consul General Sun Guoxiang joins the opening bell ceremony at the NASDAQ stock market. In addition, the Empire State Building displays the red and yellow lights in honor of the Year of the Dragon. On the West Coast, to celebrate the Chinese New Year, the Jiangsu Cultural Week is held in Southern California for the first time, and Chinese Microsoft employees host the 2012 Microsoft Asian Spring Festival at Overlake Christian Church in Redmond, Washington. From Washington, Thomas J. Donahue, President and CEO of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, delivers his annual State of American Business address. The United States Institute of Peace and the State Department host a screening of the documentary Assignment China, followed by a conversation featuring some of those journalists who traveled to China with President Nixon in 1972. Right now, I'm standing in front of the NASDAQ stock market, where Chinese Consul General of New York Sun Guoxiang and world-famous pianist Lang Lang kicked off the Chinese New Year, the Year of Dragon today. In order to celebrate Chinese New Year, the Year of the Dragon, Chinese Consul General of New York Sun Guoxiang and pianist Lang Lang rang the opening bell at the NASDAQ market site on January 20th. Over the past decade, there have been more than 150 Chinese companies listed on the NASDAQ. Consul General Sun Guoxiang extended his best wishes through NASDAQ to everyone for celebrating the Chinese New Year.
I would like to extend festival greetings and the best wishes to you and through you to the Chinese community and our American friends. I would also like to thank NASDAQ for giving us this special opportunity to celebrate the Lunar Chinese New Year and share with you our joy and happiness.
In Chinese culture, the Year of the Dragon stands for power, auspiciousness, and happiness. In an interview with China Daily, pianist Lang Lang sent his best wishes.
I'm very happy and honored to be here and with all my friends from China Daily. We wish you a great year of the dragon. Wow, big year. And hopefully you will have a beautiful and inspirational year of dragon. Thank you very much.
After the bell ceremony at NASDAQ, Consul General Sun joined the lighting ceremony at the Empire State Building.
In order to celebrate the Chinese Lunar New Year, Chinese Consul General in New York Sun Guoxiang attended the lighting ceremony on January 20th. A special exhibition featuring traditional Chinese art was also displayed inside the building, where visitors can have a brief taste of the traditional Chinese holiday.
This year is the Year of the Dragon because my husband is born on the Dragon year, so we're really looking forward to the festivities that you guys have and also the celebration in Chinatown.
We went to the Empire State Building today and there's an exhibit there, they're playing traditional Chinese instruments, and there's an exhibit there of Chinese dolls, is it? Okay, so very exciting.
Soaring 1,454 feet above Midtown Manhattan, the Empire State Building has been celebrating the Chinese Lunar New Year since 2001. This year, the building's iconic tower will be lit red and gold on both January 20th and the 23rd. Sun Peng, Liang Huang, and Yuhan Liu, China Daily, reporting from New York. The Jiangsu Cultural Week was held for the first time in Southern California from January 14th to 20th. In the opening celebration at Pacification Museum in Pasadena, Congresswoman Judy Chu presented a certificate to the Jiangsu delegation and congratulated all participants on a happy Chinese New Year.
有扬州的木偶剧团和苏州的一些民间工艺大家大师来进行非物质文化遗产的一些展示，大概是这样。这个叫欢乐春节中国江苏文化周。
5 artists from Jiangsu province showed folk arts, Chinese calligraphy, paper carving, inner painting, and making figurines by clay and sugar. Inner painting artist Wang Huicong said she has been performing the art for 18 years, with each painting usually taking her at least half a day to finish. Together with the 5 folk artists, the Yangzhou Puppet Show troupe will perform at locations throughout Southern California, such as the Chinese Garden as the Huntington Library. China Daily Los Angeles Bureau, Wang Jun reports.
40 years ago, nearly 100 American correspondents landed in China to begin an unforgettable journey to cover the historic visit of U.S. President Richard Nixon. On January 17th, the United States Institute of Peace and the State Department hosted a screening of the documentary Assignment China, followed by a conversation featuring some of those who traveled to China with Nixon. To tell the behind-the-scenes story of the media coverage of the trip, the U.S.-China Institute at the University of Southern California produced a film which uses previously unreleased footage and interviews with the reporters and officials who accompanied Nixon.
The outlines of the diplomacy of Richard Nixon's trip to China in 1972 are well known, but one of the most important consequences of the Nixon trip came from the media coverage. For the American media, it was the first opportunity to see China since the Revolution of 1949.
China Daily Washington Bureau, Tai Yingzi reports.
And we are still down 6 million jobs.
Thomas J. Donahue, President and CEO of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, delivered his annual State of American Business address on January 12th. Donahue stressed the improvement of the U.S. economy is too weak to put the nation back to work, and the organization expects economic growth of 3% by the end of the year. But in the current fierce presidential election campaign, criticism of China about its currency and military growth has raised concerns and opposition from Beijing. Last week, the new Pentagon Strategic Review named China along with Iran as potential threats to U.S. security. Donahue also said the chamber, which represents the interests of more than 3 million U.S. companies and industry associations, will continue to strengthen trade ties with China.
Last year, China has increased its currency about 12.5%, so we're moving closer on the currency issue, and the trade deficits between our countries are coming closer together, and exports to China are growing. Having said that, it appears that whether it's Republicans or Democrats, whether it's the House, the Senate, or perhaps even the presidential race, clearly the ones we've heard to date, everybody seems to have something to say to China. It's like checking the box. I said something bad about China, we're going to be tough and all that. But the bottom line is 1.3 billion people, a massive growth in middle class citizens there, and a tremendous opportunity for American manufacturers and service companies and producers in the future. So we have to work hard on that. It's also not...
China Daily Washington Bureau, Tai Yingzi reports.